Welcome back to Worldview. Now, we move this week to the media and its obsession with the seeming pejorative framing of individuals. Now, last week, Labour held their annual Cardi conference in Brighton, and I happened to be listening to the BBC just before his speech, where he was pretty much dead on arrival before even taking the rostrum. Now, since his speech, the media has been taking pot shots at his signature line.
6 simple words that say, Britain can do better than this. Britain can do better than this. We're Britain. We're better than this.
Well, are we? Joining us on the program is Dr. Dario Linares. He's a senior lecturer in film and digital media at Falmouth University. Now, he's published on the representations of identity in film and popular culture, including his most recent book on the astronaut as a media icon. Dr. Linares, welcome back to Worldview.
Hi, Dennis. Nice to be back.
Well, I have to ask, are we better than this in our media coverage?
Well, it's a difficult one. I mean, I just say, when I was watching the coverage like you, especially afterwards as well, and Miliband gave some really interesting and rather, quite radical or difficult proposals that were obviously going to get some criticism. But immediately, the media, the BBC, tended to move straight back to how does Ed Miliband look? What is his aesthetic? And whenever I hear this, I always think of it. It's a rather abstract thing to say that somebody looks a certain way, and therefore that doesn't correlate to their abilities to do a specific job. And it seems to me that that kind of agenda setting, where a particular line or a discourse is framed over and over again, becomes the conventional wisdom. Now, my question wasn't in the article that I wrote, was is there an overriding viewpoint that comes from the public, within the public sphere, that the media then reflects and represents, or is the media actually creating this agenda and the public kind of follow it? I think that's a question that's very difficult to answer.
You mentioned your article, and you did write an article for us here at UK Progressive Magazine, which we're very grateful for, and I was very intrigued about it because you talk about the coverage and, all of the pejoratives that were out there even before the speech. They called him Ed the Unready. Some characterized him as weak, weird, and out of his depth. He's even been, compared to the claymation character Wallace or Gromit. I can never remember which one it is. But, I can also look back at the stiffness claims around Romney and McCain. So why is style of such great importance? Does substance not matter anymore?
Well, I think that the arrival of television and now, of course, the internet, the notion of perception and the ubiquity of image and aesthetic is so important. I mean, you could think right back to the famous debate between Kennedy and Nixon, where those who were hearing the debate on the radio clearly had Nixon as the winner of that. But because the people who were watching it on television, Nixon was seen as visibly sweating. So all of a sudden, that became the pointer to the fact that Kennedy had actually won the debate. So the notion of the visual aesthetic, because we see everything, through TV and on the internet now, it becomes a visual thing. So what somebody actually looks like is, I would say, probably even more important than the substantive policies that they may have. But of course, what they look like, again, is a very subjective idea, and it depends who is making that assumption and the context and the criteria on which they're making those judgments.
That's a very important point. And as I remember, this was one of the few speeches, because I was driving, which I actually listened to probably 40 to 50% of it on the radio. And on the substance, it actually sounded like he was at least sounding a lot stronger than I've heard him sound, for example, in PMQs or in other speaking engagements that he's done. So, I think you have a point there. But is it because that Cameron seems so easy at the rostrum that these comparisons are made?
I don't think that's particularly the case. I think there's been lots of times when Miliband has rattled Cameron, especially when he's giving it the sort of Eton set jibes, or talking about kind of like social background. That really seems to wind Cameron up, and he becomes flustered. Or when they're talking about the problems that Cameron has with his backbenchers on Europe and those kinds of things. So I don't know. I think that winning is everything, really. And because Cameron is in number 10 already, it's very difficult to suddenly say, well, Cameron doesn't look prime ministerial. There may be questions about his leadership ability on any given subject, I mean, which is, you know, open to question and debate at any time, that's fine. But it's much easier to level the accusation at Miliband because he's not yet been elected, that does he fit the aura of somebody who could be a prime minister? And I think, you know, that there's very sort of very strong social norms about things like height and physical appearance that we kind of tend to tie into very easily. But it's very difficult to say with any certainty what those criteria really are. They're very kind of subjective, I think.
He's Dr. Dario Linares of Falmouth University here on Worldview with Dennis Campbell. Now, Dario, the thing that I found to be even more interesting was, even I've called Ed Miliband Wallace in the past, and you know, because he does have that appearance, and it goes all the way back to the battle for party leadership between him and his brother, in which many of at least the pundits in writing said the wrong Miliband brother won. Is that a part of what's going on, or is it just internal politics inside of the Labour Party?
I think that there is a sense in which there's a real question at the moment as to whether David Miliband would have been the better political and strategic candidate for the Labour Party, especially when, you know, at this given time, there's a sort of sense in which the idea that Labour is at the moment ahead in the polls, but should be further ahead. And if you look at Ed Miliband's individual ratings, whenever the public is asked in polls, it seems that he's got quite a low personal approval rating, as they would say in America, compared to David Cameron. So I think that there's a real understanding within the Labour Party, or a kind of problem, that they feel that they should be further ahead, and is Ed Miliband's personal rating going to somehow undermine their chances at the next general election? I think that's a real anxiety that Labour have, and I think maybe it's within the party conference speech he tried to really address that.
Well, not only there, but I mean, I'm going to run a clip now of Ed Miliband talking about the potential intervention in Syria from the box, and that was probably him at one of his most powerful.
So the weapons inspectors are in the midst of their work and will be reporting in the coming days. That is why today could not have been the day when the House was asked to decide on military action. For this House, it is surely a basic point. Evidence should precede decision, not decision precede evidence. And I'm glad that on reflection the Prime Minister accepted this yesterday.
So how can that particular image of Ed Miliband not carry through to everything else? What happens that he loses that somewhere?
Well, again, I think that it goes back to this idea that there is the perception that is created or iterated time and time again by a continual mention of, here is Ed Miliband's Achilles heel. It's his style. It's his presentation. And you know, if he gave the greatest Churchillian speech that was absolutely fantastic, if 30 seconds later the mainstream public service news organisation is saying, yeah, but he's still got a problem with his image, it almost doesn't matter what he says. There's going to be a barrier there to how that is perceived within the public at large, I think.
Dario, thank you so much for joining us today. He's Dr. Dario Linares. He's the Senior Lecturer in Film and Digital Media at Falmouth University. He's also a reviewer of films for www.alternatetakes.co.uk and to online radio station amazingradio.co.uk. And you can follow him on Twitter at Dario Double L. That's DARIO-DOUBLEL. Wait, try and say that 5 times fast. You're watching Worldview with Dennis Campbell. Stay right here.